Good morning, United Kingdom. Good morning. Welcome back to a session of the Drive Time session with the alternative business and property solutions community with Lakhi Singh, the business and property fixer. So good morning, everybody. We have missed you. We have, I think we were together at the beginning of the week where we had the lovely Miss Eastern Europe, who obviously was very emotional about her nightclubs and the fact that people go there to have fun, but she wasn't able to explain what fun meant. But I hope she does come back in the future to explain what she meant by that so that people don't get confused, because my understanding is fun is to each person their own. Anybody goes to a nightclub, they go to enjoy themselves. Now, one person's fun could be another person's anguish. I don't know. But the point is, there's no definition of what fun is. Fun is to each person their own. So we have Mr. Singh. Good morning, Lakhi. How are you doing?
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good, I'm good. Right. Okay. So the topic for today, obviously, is the property number one. Is it the UK's biggest property competition? That's right. And the saying of the week, you can't change. Only I can change my life. Nobody else can do it. It's an excellent motivational saying for the weekend. Lakhi Singh, what do you say to that? Only you can change your life. Nobody else can. What do you say to that? Is there truth in that, or is it, do you need lots of people around you to change you?
I think there's some truth in it. A lot of, let's just say, communal families where people live together, and then it's more of a community-based thing, especially in the Asian culture or some of the European cultures like the Spanish and the Italians. The parents do take a big role in terms of helping you, directing you. But the whole, I think, yeah, you really just twitch of a flick in your head, you could literally transform your life. You could, from just having a very low aspiration of just going to school and going to college and finding a job, you could say, look, I want to be the president of the country. I want to set up a charity. I could, there's a lot of things that could be done. So it's all a matter of how high you want to set your benchmark.
I'm sure you get approached by lots of children and young budding entrepreneurs who want to just be like you. So what do you say to them? How is it that you changed your life around? You changed your style of working and the discipline you have and the way that you conduct yourself at work. Did you have one of those moments, or have you always been this specific and precise about your business interests?
I wouldn't say I've been very specific, but I would say that when I was younger, in my early 20s, I did actually, one of my ambitions was to be getting into business and, getting into a scalable business that could be, that
A legacy.
Potentially be something that's be looked up to, let's say, in very simple terms.
Legacy. You're talking about like a legacy, yeah?
Yeah, and the funny thing is that so all my dreams and aspirations have come true because I wanted to work in business. So every day is exciting. Every day is a challenge, and every way there's a fight, psychologically, physically, emotionally, to be at your best, really.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Right, so good bit of inspiration there. Talking about business and being in, we've got the lovely Sarah, is it Woods?
Brown.
Brown. That's right, Sarah Brown. Woods are Brown. So that's probably where I got Woods from. Sarah Brown. I think she was a young lady who was participating in the UK's largest property competition. And we're probably going to get an update from her, see where she's at and where she's in the competition. She there? Has she been fired? Has she's still hanging in there and she won the competition? We'll find out. I think we've got her waiting backstage. We have the lovely Sarah Brown waiting backstage. Can we have her on, please?
Hello.
Sarah, morning, Sarah, how are you?
Good morning. I'm very well, thank you. Oh,
Excelente.
How are you?
Right. So, how are you getting on? Where have you gotten to in the competition? What stage are you? Have you got you got how many people are left in it, and are you one of the strongest competitors in this challenge in this competition? How's it going?
So the competition now has 12 people left in, and I'm one of them. So
wow,
that's really good news.
Wow,
yeah.
Excellent.
So
right.
It's gone down from 100 people in the last round to 12 now. So
wow,
that's amazing.
I think what will be interesting to know is whether any of our tips actually assisted in any way at all.
Well, they must have done. Yeah, I definitely used some of your ideas in my essay. So, yeah.
Excellent. That's good.
So thank you.
So how does it work then? So is it a bit like is it a bit like Dragon's Den, or is it more like
it's like The Apprentice?
Apprentice, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So at the minute we're in teams. So we were working on our own in the last round, and now they want to see how well we work in teams, which is obviously crucial to business and that kind of thing. So we've been we've been put into teams of 4, and we have until the 4th of March to sort of get votes and that kind of thing, and then we'll be if I get through, I'll be on my own again for the next round.
Excellent. Okay, so what's the challenge then? What are you doing with the team then?
We decided that we need to go big, and we need to get to do something crazy, like a big event. We're going to do a charity fundraising walk on the 29th of March, so a week on Monday, and we're going to walk 100 kilometers for 24 hours, and we're going to be wearing full PPE and raising money for the NHS, and so we'll hopefully get people following us and donating to the cause and voting for us, ideally, as a team.
So is this a target-based type of section of the competition? Are they going to just look for whoever raises the most money? Is it more about how well your plan goes together?
Yeah,
what's the key thing they're going to be looking at? Because you can have a good plan, but you don't really make that much money, and you can have a real weird plan, and it just comes together, and you get lots of money together. So which way is it going to be?
Well, as far as I'm aware, the other teams are not doing anything like an event like we are, like raising money. We just thought that it would be great to be able to show that 4 of us can come together and work as a team and support each other through something that's quite challenging, and also raise money for a good cause at the same time.
Excellent. So it's a 24-hour walk, did you say?
Yeah.
24 hours, right? And you're supposed to do 100 miles in 24 hours.
Yeah. No, 100 kilometers.
100 kilometers, right?
About 61 miles, I think it is.
61 miles, right? So you're going to be doing about 3 miles an hour. Is that right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, that sounds walky. That's right. Sounds walky. Okay, I'm going to ask Lakhi Singh because he's going to have his own ideas about that. Lakhi Singh, what do you think? Do you think Sarah's got it? Sarah, is she it? Is she the number one? Is she the one? What do you think? What a
Well, let
lovely
me try
personality.
and understand a bit more, then I'll be able to work it out.
Yeah.
So, Sarah, tell us. There's presumably there's something like 3 other teams. Is that right?
There's 2 other teams, and
Two
us.
others.
Yeah, there's 3 teams in total. 3 teams
So
of
there's
4.
3 teams of 4.
Yeah.
Okay, and in the teams that you've got, I didn't quite understand really how they decide. What's the criteria for them deciding? What allows you to get to the next level? What's the exact criteria? Is it
So
the
it
number?
goes,
Is it the number of people that are going to be voting for you? Is that the main thing on the
that's
state
one of the
population?
things. That's one of the things. Another one of the criteria is we need to see how much private investment we can pull between us, and so obviously that'll be compared between the 3 teams. So that's been a bit of a challenge. We've been thinking about investor packs and how do we get ourselves out there. We're only just starting off in property, so it's been quite tricky to maybe that's something you can help me with.
Okay.
How do we put ourselves forwards?
So just to get it clear, what's the percentage based upon the investment you get and the amount of votes you get? What's the difference? What's the criteria? Because then we as a panel could be sort of knowing what's the difference.
I don't think there is a
between the two?
percentage. I think they're looking at the broader picture of how we work in a team, what we've done so far, so how we work individually, how creative we can be, so we've done planned our event to show a bit of creativeness, and votes and the investment thing come into it. But I think it's just about looking at the whole picture.
I reckon. I'll tell you what I think. This is sort of off the cuff, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be right or not. But I think the more exposure the show gets, because you're doing something that's links to the show and is associated with, say, the Sarah Brown brand, then they're more likely to take you seriously, because you're pretty much single-handedly pushing the show to a different level in terms of the community around it. I mean, raising money, that in itself is an innovation that they probably hadn't even thought of themselves.
Yeah.
So they may not necessarily like that, thinking, okay, maybe she's a bit too good. Yeah. There might be a bit of jealousy there. And I think the second thing is that within your team, in terms of investment, that's probably going to be somewhat, if you're not quite clear really what the benchmark is it going to be the amount of money you raise, or is it the way you go about it more important? I think those are the 2 things that are important. So if you raise, let's say, £10,000,
very deep, wise words there from Lakhi Singh, who's an ex-Deloitte consultant. So therefore, you've got lots of wisdom coming out of the word out of Lakhi's brain. There, she's giving you the best of his wisdom. Okay, so right. So in terms of getting any help, I think Lakhi Singh will be available for you. Is that right, Lakhi Singh? Will you be available for Sarah so that she can ask any further questions? Can you do that? Pardon?
Thank you.
I said we're going to help Sarah to win, there's no doubt.
Thank you.
Right, Mandy says good morning. Good morning to you, Mandy. Thank you very much for your morning this morning. Okay, Sarah, what have you learned then since you've last been back on? I mean, when you were on, you were starting off, you'd sent a life-size cutout of yourself to the gentleman. I remember that one. Excellent move there, making moves to make sure that you're noticed. So what have you learned since then? Can you just rely upon the cutout, cardboard cutout of yourself? Will that do the work? Or are you having to do some work yourself?
Oh, no, definitely having to do a lot of work myself. So whilst we've been in teams, I've been doing bits myself as well, because obviously if I get through to the next round, I will be back on my own again. So I've been, since the beginning of the competition, I've been just dropping off a little note at the Stephen, the property guy's house every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. And it's just really to prove that I'm disciplined and I'll always show up, you know. So I've been continuing to do that. I've learned that really consistency is really key as well. So the minute we stop pushing for for votes and things, it goes quiet. So really we have to keep going and motivating each other as a team to keep it up. And so definitely consistency is another thing, and persistence. You know, sometimes people maybe don't like what you're doing as well. I've learned that, and they're maybe not interested.
Okay, they don't like what you're doing. That's an interesting one. Lucky, you've had people knock at your door at 2 o'clock in the morning?
I'm sure I have at some stage.
Yeah.
Actually, I had somebody knock on my door this morning at 2 o'clock. Yeah.
2 o'clock, right? Okay, so you know, I mean,
parked in front of my neighbour's drive. I just realized.
So they can't tell you to remove your car.
That's right. I think
that's one way of attracting attention. That's good, but probably better that it's done for purposes like Sarah. You know, knocking on this gentleman's door at 5 o'clock every morning. That is pure dedication. That's okay. So what is it that you are now pushing for, Sarah? Have you got your model sorted out? Your business model, is that what you're rolling out? Are you just merely performing the different exercises or the tasks that are being set you and trying to get those tasks fulfilled and just hoping that you get to the next round? What's happening? Have you got you're talking about investment. What are you getting investment for? Is it in the Sarah Brown brand? Is it the business that you're doing, or you've got a model of something you're trying to do? What are you trying to get investment for?
So we think that what we're doing is because really the criteria were set kind of quite loosely. I think it's just to show how we need to interpret it and then get creative and see what we can do. So the investment is, I think the way we understand it is, if we're chosen as the one, or if I'm chosen as the one, then I already have all the tools in place and the resources in place, and I'll have people that are willing to invest with me, and then I can go out there and really push, and you know, things are already in place for me to be able to do that and purchase properties, you know.
So where are the votes coming in? Where's the investment? Is it going to be limited to your area, the neck of the woods? I believe, if I'm not wrong, it was a place just north of Norwich, I think, and between Ipswich or something, wasn't it? Is that right? It was a place called Redcorn. Is that right?
Redcar, yeah. So it's
Redcar, that's right. Okay.
Far up.
That's right. So is it people in the local community? Is it like trying to get investment and votes from anywhere around the country? What is it? How are you doing it?
Anywhere around the country. Anywhere around the country, really. We are using social media to try and attract people from everywhere. And in terms of investment, that doesn't have to be local either. You know, that can be, we'll have like contracts in place and that kind of thing. So, you know, at the minute, I think it's just to see how much we could pull, like who would be willing to work with us. You know,
are you doing the investment on an IOU or on a pledge, or is it actual money in the bank?
No, it's not. It's not actual money in the bank at the moment. Just at the minute, we just need to find out how much we can raise between the four of us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, who else is in the team then? Who have you got in your team?
We've got Kath Locke. She's from Middlesbrough. We have Eduardo Duke, who is from Tenerife, but he lives in Durham. And we have Neil Turner, who lives in Newton Aycliffe. So we all live roughly about an hour away from each other.
Excellent. Durham's a bit of a far away, isn't it? It's not that close to, is it Redcar? Is it an hour away from you?
Yeah, about an hour.
Hour away. Okay. So you've got all these people, and each person's, are they all from property backgrounds? Are they just from other backgrounds? Are they students? Are they, what are they? What's the background? Are they all...
Kath's just bought her first buy-to-let property and renovated it, and I think they're getting ready to let that out. The other two are interested in property, obviously, but I don't think they have secured their first yet. It's similar to me.
Okay, so you got 5 hearts that you've picked up, so I hope each heart's worth a couple of 100,000. You've got about 500,000 collected there. We have a shout out Sonia Lambert. Long time no here. Sonia, how are you? And she's, I think, somewhere in your neck of the woods. Sarah, I think she's somewhere around the Norwich side, if I'm not wrong. So she could be someone who could be voting for you. A lovely lady, a lot of experience, a lot of experience in life as well. And we also have the good news that Boris Johnson, I believe, has injected himself. I hope he hasn't injected himself, but he's had himself injected with the Oxford created AstraZeneca?
Yeah.
The vaccine. So it's probably high, I think, for a couple of days now then, if he's just had himself vaccinated. Yeah, and he's gone and done that, which is good, gives a lot of people confidence that the vaccine is credible and it's going to help. I think there's a genuine feeling of hope now, isn't there, Sarah? People are sort of like looking towards June as the cutoff, and everyone's getting vaccinated now. So I think there's an air of, positive optimism. Is that right? Lakhi Singh, is that right?
Depends where you're sitting, I suppose, isn't it? Everybody's got a slightly different perspective. But I think but when the furlough's over and the reality kicks in about what's going on, I think things are going to get quite tight. But I'll be quite keen to sort of find out a bit more about your criteria, really, because I'm just quite fascinated. I'm just thinking, if it's the case that they want committed investors, we've got tons and tons of investors, and we work with high net buyers all the time. So I'm sure there'll be quite a few companies I know that will probably want a bit of PR, probably want to sponsor you. But I'm not for them, but we're happy to put your name out there and maybe do a bit of, like, even do interview with you to sort of market you out and put you on our platform.
Oh, that would be
that makes sense. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea, or help her. So tell me, Sarah, what is your idea? What is it that you actually are looking for investment for? Because I'm not quite clear about that. They're investing in you, but what is it that you are going to do with the money that they're investing for?
So I'll be purchasing properties. I probably look for single buy-to-lets, maybe move on to HMOs, maybe some serviced accommodation. I want to have quite a varied portfolio. And I am looking at some businesses as well to buy. So yeah.
Very nice. So you've sort of like a bit like the Miss Trump of the East Anglia. Is that right? So you're like taking on multiple type of businesses, buying maybe one of those mini golf sets to start off with. Is that right?
Yeah, Building an empire.
Can I ask a quick question, yourself?
Yeah.
If I may. So,
There you go.
what is it? Are they also measuring you on also the type of investments that you're capable of getting as well, or is it you've got three different things going on? One is your public persona and how you're perceived, and really your marketing, your brand. The second thing is getting investment and showing that you're capable. I suppose third is really also. Third is also, are they looking at your acquisition strategy and how effective they think that's going to be? Because if you're a little bit different from everybody else and not as samey as everybody else, you may blow everybody else out of the water. So we could always have a private conversation about bringing other strategies on the table that nobody's even considered.
Yeah, amazing.
Yes, excelente. That, and I think there's lots out the bag for you. So Sarah, when is your deadline? When is this? That you're fired or you stay type of thing. When does that happen?
The teams. So one team will be booted out on the 4th of March. 4th of March. Is that right? What date are we in now? Are we in March?
Yes, we are in March. We have already been booted out and we are ahead of time. We're now on the 19th of March. So everyone was booted out 15 days ago.
No.
So are we back to the future, are we?
Yeah. No, 4th of April, sorry.
4th of April, right, okay.
Yeah, and then the full competition will be over on the 9th of May, so that the one person will be chosen on the 9th of May.
Excellent.
We've got some time.
You've got some time. So what's the competition like? Do you think what do you think yourself? Are you, have you got the X factor? Are you like a bit like Simon Cowell meets Mr. Trump? What do you think? You wear your trousers up on your belly button somewhere? Do you do that?
I mean, it's definitely been challenging. So, I also work and I have like a family, I have children. So, and all the other bits on the side, trying to look after my health. I've mentioned last time I'm trying to lose weight and do running. And,
excellent.
So, yeah, it's challenging to try and juggle everything and fit it all in. And I'm trying to give my all to this as well. But I think I've done an okay job up to now. So I've just got to keep the momentum.
Excellent. How many kids have you got? How many kids have you got?
2.
2. What? The boy, girl,
2
girls,
boys.
2 boys. What is it? 2 boys. And are they part of the team? Do they give you a lot of moral support? Are they there?
Yeah.
Are they sort of like shouting out for you? Or are they just too young to understand their limit is up until the nappies?
My 3-year-old's amazing. He keeps he's keeping me motivated, bless him. So he came out to support me on one of my runs that I did in the last phase, and he was shouting, "Mummy, you are the one!" So bless him, that was lovely.
Right, excellent, yeah.
But my other one, he's 1 next weekend, so he doesn't have a clue.
So he is the one. So he's actually the one, and you're stealing his thunder. Then you're sort of taking the spotlight away from him. Probably a hot competition for you. Then you need to be careful. Well, Lakhi, so tell us. She's in a competition. She's got the personality. Is it all about personality? I mean, in your experience, when you've raised, you're raising billions or millions and raising a few 100,000. The concept's the same. What is it that you really look for in somebody? What is it that you've sold to your investors that they're happy to put you money in your pocket and say, right, do this for me and give me this? What is it? What's that X factor in the investment world?
I think I'm working with a couple of very senior executives who are actually, going to be running like multi-million pound corporations, and they're doing similar sorts of things, but not just in property, but otherwise. So the 4 or 5 key characteristics are that the main one is they're very decisive. So when you meet them, they'll not, rather than spend an hour discussing a topic, they'll spend 5 minutes, explain it to you and get the point across, and get the commitment and get the money and walk away and have the contracts ready. So one is decisiveness, the second is organization, third is preparation, so having all your documentation, your decks, investment decks, everything configured, so you already know really your preparation, your planning. It's probably your first.
That's a snazzy terminology. Your investment decks. As long as you say it properly, you don't want to be saying something else. Investment decks, that's it. Sarah, do you know what an investment deck is?
No. Do you mean like a pack or like an investment pack?
Well, lucky you need to explain it, because you're sort of like you enlightening us, and I'm feeling quite insecure. Give me an understanding. What is an investment deck?
So somebody's investing money in you.
I hope it's not said wrongly.
Yeah, if you're investing money, if somebody's investing money in you, then you need to have.
You faded. Is he there? Right, you're there.
Can you hear me all right, Sarah?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me, Vijay Sal?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just saying that investment deck is all the information an investor would require to satisfy themselves that when they invest with you, that what they're getting for their money, how they secure their money, what the contracts are, what the shares are, when they're going to get their money back, what is it seed capital, is it Series A, Series B, is it what type of investment is it, when is it, and when exactly will they get their money out? Was it a long-term investment? So any sort of questions they've got, it will be covered. But all these documents are all different formats depending on the type of person you're talking to, because some people like one pager.
Seed capital, is that something you have for planting flowers and stuff? Is that what it means, Lucky? Seed capital? Like putting in
So it's a
plants?
bit like plants, yeah. So it's basically you're getting your initial investment, but in technical terms, in the fintech and prop tech or these type of industries, you've got different terminology for different types of investment at different stages of the company. So you have early startup, you have seed, and you have all these different terms. And I don't know every single term, to be honest with you. But I do get involved in a lot of seed and Series A type investments when the company's already established. They're looking for maybe another couple of years.
Sarah, what are you? Are you Series A? Are you seed? Are you a startup? What are you?
So I don't know. What am I?
You're a lovely young lady trying to raise money. What does that fall into, Lucky?
It's either sort of startup or sort of seed capital. And what you'll find is that it's going to be easier for you to raise money if you've got proof of concept. So if you can already show that, for example,
proof of concept. That's another clever terminology there, I think, Sarah. Proof of concept. What does that mean, Lucky?
So if you can already prove that whatever model you've got works, because you've got, let's just say, 2 business partners or 2 local estate agents or builders that you joint ventured with already, and then they can show track records with a strong CV, you may stand out from the rest of the crowd with all these other 12 people or so, that you're a bit more savvy, you're a bit more business minded. So, that's going to be that could actually really help you to show that you're the one.
Yeah, it's tricky because obviously I don't have property, I haven't got anything in my portfolio to kind of show off yet. So
Well,
maybe,
I don't think you need to have anything. I think if you say to them that you've got 4 or 5 people that you're already working with,
yeah,
who've actually got a experience in this, and they've actually
yes,
picked up your business plan, you can and we can probably give them to you. Find you local people that can show that they're your local partners, so you can get. I think the power. I think the second thing you're doing is having a power team.
yeah,
One is actually have proof of concept with a couple of people that you work with who are your partners, so they get something out of it. The
yeah,
other is we've got a power team of like a strong property sourcer, a strong surveyor who can check out the property, strong sort of builder, project manager, strong architect, a strong solicitor's firm, or a strong accountant. All these sort of things will actually then help you to ensure that the taxation, the costs, the type of anybody investing with you, that you're a lot more thought out in what you're doing. You're not just doing it trying to make a quick buck. You're a
yeah,
bit more sophisticated. Yeah, you're not just hustling. Yeah.
yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. That's really helpful.
Excelente, excelente. There you are. Golden advice there from Lakhi Singh. So definitely, we've got to look at the investment pack or the deck of cards for investment. Is that right, Lakhi Singh? And a bit of, what was the other thing? What was the other thing you said? Investment pack and a deck of cards. And what was the third thing you said?
I think I just
Power
said
team.
That's
power
it.
team.
Power Rangers. That's right. You need to have a Power Ranger suit. Okay. So it sounds like fun lesson. It sounds like business, Lucky, to me. Okay, Sarah, what do you get from all that? All these terminologies. You're not getting daunted by it or sort of like intimidated by it. Do you think you're going to be able to manage that?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting, and it's oh, here, look, there's my 1-year-old. Oh, he's upset. Oh.
I think he's seen DJ Sal. I
Name?
think he's at the top of his
His
life.
name. Vijay Sal. Vijay Sal is the nice guy. Going to use Lucky Singh to scare the kids. Is he all right now? Is he?
Yeah, he's just woken up from a nap.
What's his name?
Zach.
Zach. I like that. Zach
My mum
sounds like.
said it's because you haven't got a mask on, because he's his whole first year he's been used to people wearing a mask, hasn't he? So.
Okay. Is that the older one saying that?
No.
You haven't got a mask on. Okay. Right. So, Lucky Singh, how long have we got? Okay. So, Sonia says she's from Bexley Heath, I think. Is that nearby, Sarah? Bexley Heath? Bexley Heath.
No.
Is that near? Get away, is it?
It's quite a way away.
Okay, cool. Right. So, what we have is we've got the last 5 minutes, Lucky. So, tell us, Sarah, have you ever found that you come to a situation where only you can change yourself? You know, people around you, however good they are, they can tell you that you're making a mistake or you're wrong or the way you're doing something isn't right. Have you found that your insistence or your stubbornness maybe has affected or hindered the way you're working and you had to change yourself? I know you're a young lady, but I'm sure somewhere you must have found that your stubbornness to do something in a certain way has not really gotten you the fruits and you've had to change yourself. Have you? Or have you always been so sweet and flexible?
Yeah, there's definitely been times in my life when I have had to change the way that I do things.
Can't hear you that clearly, but sure. That's right. Better.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's right. Better.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely been times in my life when I've had to change the way that I do things, and maybe people haven't been fully on board with what I've done, but I've used persistence to do it anyway. So like for example, when I was doing my PhD, and I had some health issues during that time, and I think that some people kind of thought, oh, just why don't you just stop, and maybe not put it to one side. But being me, I like to if I start something, I like to finish it. So I just change the way that I go at things, really, and maybe it means that I take a little bit more time to finish it, and which that's what happened, and I did it in the end. So does that answer the question?
Yes, Lakhi, do you see the element of someone being younger being able to be flexible? Do you feel maybe older people are stuck in their old habits and you find it a bit more difficult to change?
I wouldn't know, Vijay Sal.
Yes. Right, you didn't fall for that one, which is good. That means you're alert. Right, okay. Coming to the last 2 minutes. Sarah, tell us what you expect. Do you expect for you to be around for the next phase in April? And are we going to have you back on then? And you're going to give us a summary of what happened?
I hope so. I think it's really difficult to monitor.
How does the person who's running this competition, how do they use Alan Sugar like fired, or how do they do it?
Yeah, so it's all virtual at the moment, just with the lockdown. But it's from YouTube at the minute. But I think that as we get further along and the lockdown gets lifted, there will be chance to go and actually be fired in person.
Oh, nice.
But hopefully that won't happen to me.
No, that happen.
No,
We want that to happen to you. We want you to survive and be the one. Okay. And how many other competitors are also, got kids and a family? Right? Is everyone else virtually single?
No. So a few of them, I'd say, maybe 3/4 of them have a family and children. I don't know if any of them are as young as mine, but
but they do. That's good. That shows, an element of desire and really urgency of responsibility, doesn't it? Really, somebody with kids trying to make a go of it. It's excellent. So, Lakhi, last few seconds, please. Can you give some words of wisdom for the lovely Sarah before we leave for today?
I think, Sarah, I think what you've got to do is you've got to show them something a bit different about you.
Yeah.
Other people, I think you've probably got something about you that's probably wanting you to do this. I've got a good feeling that you'll win, actually, because I think to manage those many things, I'm already getting a headache having to think about the 1-year-old, 3-year-old, and then having a job, and then having to cook and clean and do all the other chores that you're going to do in the household as well. Mm-hmm. So I can just imagine really that somebody like yourself, you can do that. Then this is in fact the one is going to be easy for you, because just having a normal life, that's the tough part at the moment.
Yeah.
My last words to you, Sarah, and that is, it's all about your personality. They are going to buy into you, and you need to let your personality shine through, and I'm sure you will be the one. So for now, we say goodbye today, Sarah. Take care. Obviously Lakhi Singh there to help you and support you. And I will say to Lakhi Singh, the property fixer, take care. We will see each other again next week, Monday, 8 to 9, with a live drive time and the alternative business and property solutions community. Take care and see you.